Hello and welcome to the Walk in Love podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm Brooke.
And today we're going to talk about...
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
No notes?
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
No.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for making us a part of your week. Walk in Love podcast is a place where you laugh and sometimes cry as you try to find language to live a full life.
And if you like your listening to line up with your living, you're in the right place.
What do you think?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
Wow. No notes?
No notes.
Cool. I watched that clip the other day.
No
I
notes.
was working on a video and I was like going to cut it in, and it's so long, and it's even better when you see the video. Like if you
The
guys,
actual clip from New Girl.
it's from
Yeah.
New Girl. Yeah. And I was just like, I just kept watching over.
It's funny.
So funny. Because at first he goes, no notes, and he smashes over the whiteboard. So he
Yeah.
Nick had set it up.
4 notes.
4 notes. And
Yeah. But there were no notes.
So good. Thanks for being here. We are launching a collection today. It's live right now. You can go buy 4 different items from the May Made to Order collection. One of which Brooke is wearing right now. Says enough for today with really pretty flowers. One of which I'm wearing right now, which says his mercies are new every morning. Has a cool palm tree design on the front and then a bigger one on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a peach vintage wash tee that says love others, which is really, really good looking.
Yep.
And the one that I think most people are excited for are blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy.
Is that getting the highest votes
I don't
so
know.
far?
It just feels
You
like
just got vibes.
that's just the vibe that I get.
Yeah.
That one is also available right now for 1 week only. So go grab those, support the podcast by buying a t-shirt, which means the world to us. And I'm just going to give you the code right off the get-go so you can pause
Whoa.
the podcast and go.
Also, and by you saying right now, that's assuming you're listening in real time. It's May 6th through May 12th of 2024.
Yeah. I'm talking to the weeklies.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. If you're catching up, you missed your chance.
Yeah.
But if you're here today, go buy a tee. And I'm looking at your shirt that says enough for today. So I'm going to use the code. The code is enough for today. So
All one word.
all one word, no spaces, enough for today. That's the code for the podcast listeners. And I'll make it last all week. I'll make it last the whole time it's open.
Whoa. That's awesome.
Which I normally don't do.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. We don't do sponsored posts or ads or anything like that on the podcast because you guys buy t-shirts. So please go do that. That would mean the world to us. And if you don't want to buy a t-shirt, which I know that you do, you could also buy Tiny Rhythms, which just launched officially. Tiny Rhythms is
relaunched.
It's a relaunch.
To quote.
And I laughed every time someone used the code dumpster fire. Tiny Rhythms is your go-to magnet system to help you organize your day for your little ones. It is both to teach them the habits of what a day looks like, the healthy rhythms of a day. It's also
We eat breakfast.
we
brush our teeth.
We brush our teeth. You know,
We
those
do
things.
these things.
You know, it's a tool to help you train your kids.
Yeah.
For the things that matter, and then it's also a place where you can like have them check off chores, which can be very helpful. I know our girls specifically, when they get to check off chores on the Tiny Rhythm, on the magnets on the fridge, they're stoked. Like they love it. So it's a place to do that. And then it's also a place to sort of challenge yourself as a family. So this is kind of like those are the 2 main things.
Yeah.
Healthy rhythms, chores, like boom. Those are the 2 big things. But what I've found as we've used it over the last few years in different variations as we've kind of finalized the product is that there are pieces, like there's a piece that says outdoor play or inside play or adventure or surprise or these other things. And
Babysitter.
I can see our girls want to put those pieces on the board. So let's say they want to put the adventure piece on the board for the day.
By the board, you mean the fridge?
The fridge, yes.
Something magnetic.
Yes. I find myself challenged as a father to then pursue something adventurous.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be like a subtle benefit of the, a subtle but not so subtle. Like subtle at first, like, oh, I didn't buy this.
I don't think people are like, you know what I need?
I need
a magnet to make me take my kids outside.
No,
you know what I mean? But however, do I think it's going to do that?
Yes.
100%.
And we also
like aspirational.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's been really cool to sort of see that like little element happen because of that. So Tiny Rhythms is launched, tinyrhythms.com. Dumpster Fire code is still valuable, still available. It's been really fun. We launched it this past week, and it's been a long journey to get to this point.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have like I want to have a full Tiny Rhythms episode to just like
the not so tiny journey of Tiny Rhythms.
To just sort of like I think people see from the outside looking in on the internet, you think everything works smoothly for these guys. I find myself thinking that. And for anybody, like, it's just super easy and it just exploded.
Barely an inconvenience.
Barely an inconvenience. And it's not. Like every entrepreneur out there has faced some sort of setback in some way. And so maybe our Tiny Rhythm story can be like an encouragement for those of you out there who are like, gosh, I've been trying this and I keep messing up or whatever. But it was really fun. So like we sell the everyday pack, which comes with 40 some magnets, both pieces and like check mark smiley faces.
24 pieces for your average day with a little kid.
Yeah.
And then 12 smileys and 12 X's.
Yeah, depending on the vibe you want.
Yeah.
But then we sell individual pieces. So it was really fun to watch orders come in.
Yeah.
And then see like someone was like almost everybody did the everyday pack.
Yeah,
like
it's like the starter pack.
Yeah,
you start with those, and then you add on to customize your day and
so
your life.
Like we have a piece that says "Feed the Chickens." It's fun to see that one added. We had church was the most popular piece that people added on. We have a Target Run piece. People added that on a bunch.
Yep.
Like we have Mimi's house, Gigi's house,
Nana's
Grandma's house, Nana's house.
Yeah.
People added those on.
Yeah.
Which was really fun to see. Like. It was just really cool. And that's where I got like
quite a few baseballs.
Yes, a lot of baseball.
Baseball, gymnastics,
LA,
swimming. Yep. I saw those were added on.
I'm really excited because we're going to release like seasonal packs, and they're both going to be like practical, like pool day or whatever for the summer. But then I think we're also going to put some like aspirational bucket listy things on those packs, so that they can be both practical and aspirational, both and.
Yeah. Wow.
Podcast. That I think that's sort of it about the last announcement. Moms on Maui still's got some spots. Week 1's filling up. Week 2's wide open. We have discounts going if you want to bring a friend. I can't remember those off the top of my head.
It's not an actual code. It's just
but it's like if you sign up with a friend,
you each save
$350.
Yeah.
I am not certain of the likelihood of a Moms on Maui in 2025.
I know. We've been having more conversations. Not that we're like anti-moms on Maui. That's not true.
We love it.
I absolutely love it.
Fun.
I literally hope to do it for like the next decade.
Yes.
I just, with some life things happening and some business, just all these different things, I'm just like, oh, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm also not saying with 100% certainty that it is.
Yeah.
So that's a very confusing
so if you're
way
like,
to say.
I really want to come, but I'll wait till next year. Like you might be
waiting till 2026.
26 or So just an FYI.
Yeah.
Also going to do a Dad's on Maui in October. October 11th through the 16th is my best guess.
Okay.
It's Brooke's birthday is October 7th.
Yes.
You would show up on that Thursday and then leave on that following Tuesday. You being the 7 guys listening to this. If you all come, it'll sell out. And I'll do the same deal with the friend. If you want to bring a friend.
Yeah.
We are going to hang out.
Yeah. I feel the same way that you might feel towards mine. Yeah. I'm like, can I come?
Eat really good food.
Like, can I be part of it?
Probably like eat really unhealthy food. Like both. And. I've envisioned some sort of foil board scenario out on the water.
Surfing or something.
Definitely boogie boarding, definitely jumping off waterfalls. I also envision like multiple video game consoles being placed in strategic places throughout the house. That's just the vibe I'm getting out.
Is that the vibe you're getting?
That's the vibe I'm getting. But and those are all the fun parts. It'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But what I also foresee happening is like, I think that men are incredibly lonely. This makes me emotional.
It's going to make me cry.
Yeah. Men are incredibly lonely, and we are told constantly on a day-to-day basis, don't be a man. Being a man is evil. Men
are all of today's problems.
I mean, there's that stupid trend on the internet right now that's like, they're asking women, would you rather spend time in the forest with a man or with a bear? They're like, oh, with a bear. And I'm like, you're an idiot. A bear would eat you.
Yeah.
A man would protect you.
Mhm.
Like a good, solid man would protect you
Yeah.
and help guide you out of that forest and probably sacrifice quite a bit to do that.
Mm.
And there are a lot of stinking good men in this world.
Yeah.
But we're extremely isolated, both by technology and by the fact that like we're not allowed to be men.
Yeah.
And so
And by the fact that Target now does deliveries. I mean, we don't have to go anywhere. Uh-oh.
and so I would love the fun side. Obviously, that's a real big vision for it.
Mhm.
But then I love the brotherhood side. I love the idea of like this group text existing in perpetuity.
Yeah.
And us walking through some serious things together, us being in communication and prayer for each other.
Yeah.
And then just, like just actually having friends, and maybe we'll live all over the country, but that doesn't matter. That's one of the benefits of technology is that we can still remain friends and brothers and hold each other accountable and pray for each other and do all those things.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in the Moms on Maui groups that you have.
Mhm.
But there's something about men being isolated and especially isolated in terms of like women are able to talk about their feelings a lot more. They're encouraged to talk
I was
about
gonna say
their
they're encouraged. I don't know if everybody quite has the skill set,
but they're encouraged.
But it's at least a little more encouraged and accepted.
And so, I just think that Dads on Maui could be both and great story. We're putting the kids to bed and they asked us what we worked on today or something like that. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to do a Dads on Maui.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's so cool. And I said,
June pipes up and she says, why not call it Men on Maui?
Yeah.
Which is clever.
Keep
Because
the-
we've had a few
Yes.
people already suggest that. And I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. And if you're a single guy and you want to come,
Oh, of
you
course.
can
It's
come.
not just dads. To which you respond.
I said, well, we're
what
going
if
to
we
call it Handsome Dudes on Maui.
Extremely handsome dudes on Maui.
Dudes on Maui. And Sunny, without missing a beat, hesitation, she goes, you mean like Ian?
Like Ian?
It was
Bianca's husband. So
we tried not to
precious. We tried not to react with strongly because we didn't want to embarrass her.
but we text Ian like the second ever. He's like, he's riding high. I actually took him to the airport and he was like, highlight of my week.
Not gonna lie, I think he needed that. Yeah. Oh man. That's awesome.
So those are the things we got going on. Support if you can. I know that we live in an interesting economic time, so there's no pressure from us, but we'd like to tell you all those things. We got some new Sunny Morrow coming on. We got a lot of stuff going on. And the podcast audience has always been such a huge support. We so greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know that Brooke says this a lot with some of the beauty counter stuff she does, but like with Walk in Love, and I think with Sunny Morrow more so, like if you have questions like about what
I know. I tend to say, like, if you have any questions about your skincare, send me a message.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
That statement holds true for any of our businesses.
Yeah. Especially like, I feel like Sunny Morrow specifically, if someone's like, well, hey, this is kind of how I'm shaped. Like, do you think I should go with this piece or with this piece? Or what do you think? New stuff came 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I love opening it in front of the girls.
It's so sweet.
June's just like,
Oh, I can't wait till I can fit in there.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, I wish that was my size. Do you think if I wear it with a clothespin, it would fit? That's what she did with that purple skirt. And I was like, well, I can just try to like literally re-sew it smaller for you so you can wear it. So cute.
So lots of stuff happening.
Yeah.
How was your week? Or should we? No, we're doing you just took the lead 3-2 on Mount Rushmore. So my week was terrible. We also realized, let's lead with our mistakes. We left out Finding Nemo. We left
1,000% Finding Nemo.
We left out The Incredibles. We were messaged and texted about it repeatedly. I'm so sorry. That's our bad. That's on us. Yeah. Again, when you're in the moment and you're just
trying to Google a list in front of me.
Right. My phone is being used to record. When you're in the moment and you want to dominate your wife, sometimes you get tunnel vision.
Right. Yeah. I think that's true.
You just want to win.
Yeah.
And it actually hurt me. I picked Finding Nemo. I got a dub. I'm up 3-2. But I don't, and the wheels fall off. So we're probably going to do it again this week, but here we go. Mount Rushmore.
Oh, because we don't have our phones again? Oh, gosh. We're definitely, I'm not prepared. I really thought I had mine. Should I grab that giant iPad over there?
What do you want to do? You want to do like the category, or do you want me to do like a super easy category?
Well, I don't know. What's a super easy category?
Like office characters.
See, that's stressful. Well, no, it's not. I at least know them all.
Yeah.
Sure.
Office characters.
This is so on the spot because we changed it.
Who got first pick? You got first pick.
Oh, dang.
Dang it. I'm going to win.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not everybody loves him as much as you think they do.
Well, the show doesn't exist. My first pick has to go Michael Scott.
Correct.
The show doesn't exist
It
without
doesn't
him.
exist without him.
He's the main man. I mean, it did
Yeah.
exist without him for a while, but it definitely
But it couldn't have started
without him. Wouldn't have had the success without him. I'm going my man, Michael Scott, aka Michael Scarn. Bippity boppity. Give me the
Give me
zoppity.
the zoppity. Okay, Michael Scott.
Off the board. You're up.
Hey. I'm going to have to go. Oh, do we split them up? Do they stay together? I think I'm going to have to go Pam.
Wow. That is a interesting first pick. Thanks for the W, Brooke. That was fun. Tied it up 3-3 because I'm picking Dwight K. Schrute.
Yeah.
Because
Dwight.
yeah, I mean, there's not much to say other than Dwight. Dwigged.
So
okay,
then
here's an Office quote that I've been saying a lot lately, and maybe it's all the video game time I play with Matt, but on the stream for Naughty Boy Nation. But I've been saying that's a bold move. Ow, Michael's a bold
guy.
Is bold the right word? If you know that reference, we're friends in real life.
Okay, then I guess I'll go Jim Halpert.
Whoa, you're going with Jim and Pam.
See, that's what I said. Do I split them up or do I keep them together?
I thought you were talking about Michael and Dwight. Okay, my third pick, Andy Bernard.
Okay. I gotta bop around the office in my head.
Am I in the annex? Am I in the break room? There's a couple my last spot could go to one of 10 people.
Yeah, that's where I'm feeling. I'm feeling
Yeah.
that. We now have the top 5 on the board.
Yeah.
So now my question is, who do I quote more?
But
Who
also
do I
I just
laugh at more?
this isn't my pick, but I want to be like a Karen and a Filippelli. That's not my pick. I just like when he says it.
I think I'm gonna have to go with. Oh man, there's so many people I laugh at for different reasons.
Like there's one that I kind of want to put on, but I don't think people will resonate with it. So
Who is it then?
Nelly. I feel like
Nelly Burton.
I feel like Nelly is so underrated.
She is.
Sucky is her name.
She's a person. Look at her. No, I think I'm gonna have to go Creed.
Oh,
Because Creed
pick.
is one of those characters where his line per laugh ratio, he doesn't talk a lot.
Doesn't talk a lot.
But when he does, it's almost always like
spot on.
Spot on. So
That was going to be my
I'm
pick.
going to go Creed.
That was going to be my pick. Okay, my final pick.
Really? Wow. Really?
I'm struggling.
Okay.
I'm between two.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with Stanley.
Ooh.
Did I stutter? Stanley's just like, he's not.
I have everybody's last names written down except Stanley's.
Stanley Hudson.
Stanley Hudson. Duh.
It's mostly like the Michael Stanley combo.
Yeah.
But okay, that was it.
Okay.
Last pick.
So you have Michael Scott, Dwight K. Schrute, Andy Bernard, and Stanley Hudson.
Yeah.
I have Pam Beasley, Jim Halpert, Creed Bratton, and I think I'd have to go Oscar.
Oscar.
I love Oscar.
Solid choice. Kelly Kapoor was.
Kelly was next for
Robert
me.
California was on the list for a little bit.
I mean, Robert California is game changer.
Yeah.
Changes to the game.
Yeah, the game
Such a
will
way
never-
that the game will never be played the same way.
Kevin.
again.
I forgot about Kevin.
Kevin is so good.
All right.
I don't know. I'm
Well,
not
you-
overly confident.
You can't go wrong. You literally could pick any four and you
Yeah.
can't go wrong.
Yeah. That's why it was a great show.
But vote on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I tied it up. I think it's going to be 3-3 after this.
There's a good chance. You got Dwight.
I got Dwight and Michael.
Twigged.
Twigged.
My week was good. Yet again, here we sit, and I feel like what's happened since the last time we sat here?
Yeah. Both.
Like not a whirlwind what's happened, like, whoa, what's happened? But I mean literally like it was a week ago we sat here.
Here's the thing.
What happened? What did we do?
What's helpful about doing the podcast and the rhythm of the podcast and the rhythm of sitting here,
I think I need my phone to look at
week in and week out, is that like it both shows you that life is screaming by at a frantic rate. Like life moves quickly.
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller. You have to slow down every once in a while, which is true. Sabbath. Thanks, Ferris.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Such a classic. And so, but it's also like, if I look back on the conversations that we had this week about the future and about what's going on in our lives, and like some of the hard, some of the good, and some of the heavy, and some of the bad, and some of the frustrating, and some of the fruitful, and like those things are measured on a long scale. Yeah. Like the big, deep, weighty things of life, the successes of life, or the like, you know, like training your kids, for example, you know, like we've been talking about that a lot recently. Like that's on a long scale. Like week in and week out, we barely move the needle, you know, but like on the scale of 10 years or 5 years. So when we sit here, I feel like I kind of feel that the both end of that like,
well, it's like that famous parenting quote that's like, you know, the days are long, but the years are fast. Yeah. Because you feel that. You're suddenly like, how is Daisy over 2.5? Yeah. What? Yeah. Literally what?
Yeah, I know.
Like, we've lived here almost 3 years. We will be married 15 years at the end of this month. You start to do the years. You start saying years of things and you're like, man, that has gone fast. And then there's days where I'm like, this day will never end. And this children will never eat their chicken nuggets. And everything is the worst.
Oh man, you know, we kind of homeschool.
Yeah.
We go back and forth. Sometimes it's my day, sometimes it's Brooke day. And I had done it heavily on our trip.
Yeah.
I was the only one doing it.
Yeah.
And then we got back and I had to like kind of catch up on some work things. So Brooke kind of took the lead on most of the days. And I had sprinkled in there, but Thursday was like my first full day back. And the pace at which our children move sometimes, like get there faster, is like, and it's like you have to like ride this balance of just like, you want to encourage them to go faster, right? Or not to go faster, because like that's not the goal. I mean, sort of is. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you're just like, we literally just need to move faster. But it's like if that becomes too much of the encouragement, then we've got tears. Yeah. And they actually move slower.
Correct.
And so you got to ride that.
It's a fine line. You can barely see it. It's pretty much an invisible line.
It is like a fishing wire line that you accidentally walk into.
Yeah.
And you got to ride it so well, because
it's tricky.
Because if you let them go at their own pace, you'll literally never finish. Like,
yeah. You will take all day and still not be through whatever it is you need to be through.
It is physically painful.
Oh, it is 100%.
And I have to like actively remind myself that like, I will miss this. Not now. I don't miss it at the end of the day. I don't miss it when it's over. But there will come a time where I miss this like
the sweetness
of teaching my kid a brand new thing.
Yeah.
And so, but that reminder is very much has to be like almost said out loud in a mantra.
Yes.
Because otherwise, you're just like, just move faster.
Oh my word. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. But my week was good, even though I am like, it's coming back to me. I'm trying to like remember what was going on. We had in reverse. The girls all had dentist appointments.
I had a dentist appointment.
You had a dentist appointment. The girls went to their co-op 2 days this week, as they normally do. We did school. Oh, Homejoy's 50% off.
Yep.
That was happening.
Let's keep that going.
We can keep that going for the podcast audience. Use the code START today.
Yeah.
What else was going on? Yeah, that Sunny Morrow stuff came.
Tiny Rhythms, we
launched Tiny Rhythms. Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of things.
I feel like what we're experiencing right now is like the reality of what it takes to make content for 3 brands. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised by this. Sorry, was that my face? I guess y'all can go watch it on YouTube if you'd like. I didn't think that was that big of a reaction.
It wasn't. But we've been married almost 15 years, and so it was just like such a truthful response. Because like there's this element of I've been talking a lot about this lately with other friends that just like, there's this element of like online personalities giving you business advice that makes me want to rip a computer off of a wall and throw it into the dumpster like Ron Swanson, where they're just like, oh yeah, all you do is like just 10x this. And then like you go out and you 10x that. And then all of a sudden you got like 6x's of 10x and you're like, why don't I 10x it again? And it's just like, and they talk about it like it's just the easiest thing that's ever
Have you
existed.
seen the funny one that's making, I'm sure there's more.
There's lots
more
of guys
than one that are making fun. No, there's this girl and she's like planting a garden in the video.
Okay.
She's like, hi, I made $1 jillion or whatever her number was, you know, last month from selling these things. Step 1, claim you made $1 jillion. Step 2, you know, and she just like sell a course on how you did that. You know, whatever. And it made me laugh.
But yeah, that your reaction was just like the act, like what people should actually talk about on the internet. That's like, oof, yeah, we got to make content for 3 brands. Yeah. And sometimes it's completely exhausting.
Yeah.
Like truthfully, honestly, it's just like, gosh, I just, you know, but
it's like, I wouldn't change it.
100%.
We do have conversations of like, should we throw it all out the window and do something different? Yep. And every time we're like, no, first of all, we can climb out our windows safely. We don't need to throw our stuff out with it. But we're just like, no, I wouldn't change it.
Right.
But it can still be hard.
Yeah.
And
so we were like,
take a lot of our brain power.
We were content making machines this week. I do have, and I'll throw this out to the podcast audience. We had a butt clencher, member of the butt clencher club, stay with us.
Yeah.
Big Coach Carter fan. Her name's Lainey. Talk about Lainey a lot.
Yeah.
The girls ask about Auntie Lainey.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure she's going to love. I asked her, I said, hey, if I send you a few things, will you make a video for me?
Yeah.
And she made a video, but in making a video gave me an idea that I
genius.
Absolutely love. Yeah. So in her video, and I haven't even sent this to her, but I guess I'll send it today so she has it.
Yeah.
She was like, she has a few of the new items. She said, this is what I would wear to the gym. And then she backs up and she
the cute, she like consider the wildflowers sweatshirt where it's like printed on the sleeve.
I'm going to post it to our Instagram at some point this week. This is what I wear to the gym. She backs up and she poses and smiles outfit. And then it cuts to the next clip. I mean, obviously I edit it, but like, it's like, this is what I would wear to therapy. And then she backs up and says something. And this is what I wear to church. And she backs up. And then,
I can't remember if there's a fourth one.
No, I think that's it.
Just those 3.
And then it said, this is what I'm wearing today. And she backs up. And so I just love that. I love
like a template.
As a template. So if you have 4 or 5 Walk in Love shirts, style them together.
Yeah.
And do that. You can you can message me the video. I'll figure out a way for you to give me the videos because I want to highlight community members in this way.
That'd be so cool.
But it's got to be, so give me 3 options. Yeah. And then this is what I'm wearing today.
Right. So you pick 4 things, but one is this is what I'm wearing to X. This is what I'm wearing to X. This is what I'm wearing to X. And then this is what I'm wearing today.
And it was just like,
it was a really clever, which again, I don't even know if that was really her intent.
No.
She just figured we were going to edit them together somehow.
And so I just love that. We also have had an interaction with a sister this past week of a butt clencher.
Okay.
Right? We went to lunch.
Oh, sorry. I was not tracking with you. Oh, wow. That was this week? No. Yes. Integrated was last week.
Yeah, but we went out to dinner
we trickled over into this week.
Monday.
We did.
Yeah.
We did go out to dinner on Monday with Ryan and Jesse.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And the sister's name is Molly.
Molly.
So Molly.
Molly from Pennsylvania.
Shout
out.
Your sister.
She's great.
Took, I think, 10 selfies with Brooke just to send to you. And it was super fun. We had tons of fun hanging with them. So hello, Molly. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it. Come stay with us in Maui. We got those details in the show notes. Okay. Anything that's on your, we're doing no notes. So I don't really know what we're going to talk about next.
Nice. Smart. 4 years into this podcast, baby. Actually, not quite, probably, but
anything. What's percolating up there?
What's percolating? Something I've been thinking about, which again, this might be a statement of here's something I'm thinking about, and that might be the end of the podcast. But here's something I was thinking about. After Moms on Maui, after both weeks, I was like writing a few things down, just trying to kind of like process and remember you know, because like so much happens during those 2 weeks, both like internally for me and external. Like there's just so much conversation and processing happening.
Yes.
With 2 different groups of ladies and all that there's going on in their life. And then you add mine to it and all this stuff. And so something I was writing down was like, okay, well, because one of the questions we asked each other at the end of both weeks is like, what's something you're taking with you from this trip home?
Okay.
Like to picture it as like a thing. Well, not like an item, but like what are you taking with you? What's something? And a lot of the ladies said that they were taking fun back with them, which I loved. Like
that.
Week 2, there were moments in week 1 as well, but what jumps into my mind is week 2, we decided it was massage day. Everybody's getting massages, but it takes all day. And so it's like, we don't all need to be at the house the whole time.
Right.
We can like break up into groups. And so we were, one person was getting a massage, a couple of people had gone, we're down at the downstairs for lunch. And we were like, well, I don't know, should we like go get in the ocean? And we were like, sure. But the amount of people who wanted to go jump in the ocean were too many to not leave enough people behind to get a massage. Okay. So we realized we have 28 minutes to get into our bathing suits, get into the car, drive to the beach, run and get into the ocean, and do that again. So that was super fun. We did it. We made it back in time for the next person's massage, which was awesome. And Sarah couldn't believe, she's like, you went all the way to Sidewalk and back that fast. And I was like, yes, we did. Please be proud. So that was a super fun moment for everybody. I mean, we literally we got out of the car. We didn't run across the street. That would have been panicking to, I think, everybody around. But once our feet hit the beach, there's a video of it too. We literally take off running and screaming, which is just funny. Like, when is the last time any of us have done something like that? So that sort of prompted the whole like, well, that was fun. Like that was a fun thing to just do. So then the next day we go to the beach for a similar amount of time in the afternoon. The weather was kind of confusing that day. And so we were kind of just playing the whole day by ear. So we end up back at the same beach, but it was kind of cloudy, a little bit windy. So a couple of the ladies like didn't even wear their bathing suits. They just went in clothes, brought a book, they were reading and stuff like that.
Just vibing.
But then a bunch of us are out in the water and the waves were like, I would say they were mildly decent. If you are very familiar with the ocean and you know how big waves can get, especially on certain beaches, like I would be, or like my friend Lindsay, who was with us, would be because she used to live here. We were like, oh, these are pretty good for sidewalks for this beach. Like, this is pretty good. The other ladies thought they were enormous because they have no context for like, yikes, spikes, how big they can really get. So it was like fun wave jumping, like, swimming around. And we were in there, I don't know, probably a good 20, 30 minutes. And we hear somebody yelling and we all turn around. And one of the ladies who did not wear her bathing suit has decided she's getting in anyway.
I love that.
Oh yeah. So she had like, bike shorts on and a sports bra and then like a tank top. So she just took her tank top off. So honestly, she was basically wearing a bathing
more
suit
clothes than most of the
people on Maui. So it was great, but she just like went for it and got in. And she and I had many conversations about like, I do not want to live a life where washing my hair stops me from doing something.
Oh, preach
because that is so big for so many of us. I was specifically talking about mostly water stuff. Yeah. But just like, if I live my whole life being like, I'm not going to do that because I don't really want to wash my hair afterwards. Yeah. Like versus a life where I'm like, so what if I have to wash my hair? Yeah. Like that's more than like a 1 degree shift and you continue to like follow that road. And it's a very different path. So a lot of the ladies said that they were, and then we went back a third day to ride the waves, the final departure day when some people had left, but then some people got to, their flight wasn't till much later. So, many of us said, like they just want to take home more fun with them, like 100%. Fun mom, fun for themselves, like not just fun with their kids, but like, how do I be more lighthearted, more fun, more just like up for the adventure of it all. So anyway, back to where I'm like writing things down and processing. And I'm writing things down from a perspective of like, what am I taking with me into my life? Like my family's about to land on a plane. Yep. Everything's going back to normal. This is regular life. Right. Like I'm thinking about groceries for the next week and stuff like that when I'm writing my list down. And something I wrote down as a reminder with like a little asterisk was remember to use the tools at your disposal to, how did I phrase it? Something like help with the discomfort or like the things in life that are like, this is frustrating. This is irritating. This is hard. Like, and I feel like we do a really good job with this. Like I have systems in place. We have routines and rhythms. Like we have things in place, which
which we share,
which I will call tools that help things move more smoothly. They help things feel less hard. They do all this stuff.
Yep.
But again, kind of like camp easy, camp hard. Like I'm using all the tools at my disposal to look at camp hard or whatever you want to call it and help that feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm writing this down, right? So use all the tools at your disposal. Like remember to whatever for all the things that feel hard. Or I forget exactly how I phrased it. But then I didn't stop writing. And what I kept writing was, and to bring more fun and joy.
Mm.
Because again, I get into like, here's what's irritating. Here's what, there was no meal. There was no this, like whatever.
Right.
We forgot library books. We this, like my brain is like task, thing.
I mean, just a really practical example. We went on a walk last night. There's this like boardwalk area on Maui, and you forgot to put the stroller in the car.
Yeah.
And Daisy wanted to be held. We thought she wanted to just walk, but she wanted to be held.
Yeah.
And like it affects you.
Oh, big time.
So,
that's also very heavily Enneagram 1.
Yeah. Like it just
every story of an Enneagram 1 is like, we went on vacation and mom forgot her camera and it literally ruined the whole vacation because she could not stop thinking about it. It's very real.
It's so real.
Certain personalities.
So.
But it is real. Yep. And so I do spend most of my energy, not most of my time, but most of my mental energy using like asking for help. Like I need help in this area from you, from a friend, from my kids to help make things feel easier. Mm-hmm. Like I'm facing the direction of let's alleviate this. Yeah. Like I don't want the discomfort. I don't want any of that. I spend very little time, which is what I was convicted of when I was writing it, using all the tools and energy and help at my disposal to have more fun. Mm. And I haven't stopped thinking about it since I wrote it down. And then a thought I had like only a couple of days ago was, I'm all about asking for help, and I know I'm not the best at it, but I do try to get better, and I have gotten way better.
100%.
And sometimes that help, like I just said, I can ask you for help. I can ask the kids for help. Sometimes you ask a good friend for help, like, can you watch my kids so I can do this? Or,
or you pay for help. Yeah.
Yeah. Or whatever.
Lots
but like,
of ways to get it.
I'll use Bianca as an example. I know I have asked her for help with things.
Is she married to?
She's married to dashingly handsome Ian who lives on Mountain.
Got it. Yeah. Yes. Cool.
And so I think often though, and I'll use her as an example because I know she won't care. I ask her for help again with things that feel like they're in camp hard, in camp challenge, like, and that's not bad. That's not a bad thing that we brainstorm like, man, this feels hard right now. This parenting thing, like, what do you do? Like that's great. I'm not saying not to do that.
There's a community element of that, which is so good.
Yes, 100%. Yep. But I don't know if I've ever asked her for help to have more fun.
Right.
Like to look at the relationship in a way that's like, I'm still asking for help because here's an area you exceed in when it comes to fun. Or I have other friends who are just like the way they have fun with their kids or their family or whatever.
Right.
And I don't just mean like pool party fun, but just like the more
like fun connection, like fun, like adding like a relational joy to your relationship with your kids, like that type of fun.
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And so that's honestly just kind of has been on my mind of if I'm going to sit down and plan out my week and do all these things to make things run more smoothly, as I should,
right?
Like as I do need to do. I'm not saying I don't want to do that, but that's built into my rhythm because I know that works. And like the planning and the thinking and doing all that effort up front makes the rest of the week way more smooth. Laundry gets done. Dinners are made. We don't forget to pack things. We remember strollers, whatever. But then I put zero upfront effort into
it sounds like your weekly template needs a new emoji and a new spot.
I know. Like
how many weeks are in a year? 52?
52.
I knew that, obviously.
You're just quizzing.
You knew that.
Quizzing
imagine, Daisy's 3, almost 3. We got 15 years times 52 weeks to put one sprinkle of fun in there.
Oh, I like the word sprinkle because then I picture real sprinkles, which I think are so fun.
Which are fun. Radically different experience for her in her life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and I'll piggyback off of that. I have found myself thinking about, hold on one second. I love you, Jen. I have found myself to piggyback off of what you're saying about just like the fun and like what I've been sort of, percolating on is like, what are the things in place that make a lifelong impact?
Yeah.
Because like, I think not a lifelong impact in terms of like skill set, brain development, all that kind of stuff. Like, like we need to teach our kids how to read and do math and all that kind of stuff, have conversations, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, what are the memory things that my kids are going to think about that make a lifelong impact? Like, like I have a lot of memories with my dad at, wrestling practice. Like those made a lifelong impact. I still remember him. I can still tell stories about him. I have memories about with him going to Russia. Like those are lifelong memories that I'll remember forever. And then I have like small little, like I remember as a kid, we used to turn the couch sideways and watch the X-Files as a family, which like sounds terrifying. June would never sleep ever again. And so like what are the, like I've been thinking about like, what are those things? And it's funny you mentioned the beach because I've written down multiple times that like when we get to the beach or like, let's say you get to a pool or like you're just doing something active with your kids.
Yeah.
Specifically water-based, I think this would make a big impact.
Yeah, or maybe the park could happen a little bit there.
Yeah. And there's always this element when you get to the beach or the pool where you're like, oh, let's set up our chairs, let's lay down our blanket, let's do all this stuff, and then I'll play.
Yeah.
Imagine 500 times you do this with your kids. Whatever.
That's a lot of times.
Okay. 200, 100 times. And before you set up your chairs or lay down your towel, like, and your kids, because your kids almost always do this.
Yeah.
Let's go swimming. Like, let's get in the ocean.
Get in the water immediately.
Right away. Imagine the impact it would make on their tiny little hearts and their brains and their memories if you didn't set up your chair. You didn't set up.
It's not like you're going to sit in it.
Yeah.
You're going to set it up and then go get in.
And you just ran with them to the ocean, like you said, running to the ocean, like that. And those are the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Is like, what are those tiny little like? Again, it's just like a 1% shift. It's just like a tiniest little perspective change of just like, what are the things they're going to tell stories about me to their kids around their dinner table that I can do now to like deepen our relationship, have like, what can I do?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like reinventing the wheel. I don't think you have to go to Disneyland or hike the Grand Canyon or like, I honestly think it's just like little shifts in your day-to-day life. I know that Josh Straub talks about this, that like, he asks himself the question, why can't I? Like when his kids ask him, hey dad, can you play with me? Can you do this?
Cards
like,
right now?
Why can't I? And sometimes he says, I have a valid answer. I have a call or I have a session or I have someone coming over or like I have to go to the dentist or whatever. And I literally can't, but there's usually not a good reason most of the time.
Yeah.
And so he's like, so why can't I play for 5 minutes? Why can't I play for 10 minutes?
I have to really remember that sometime. I have to actively tell myself how long it will actually take.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, you want to play this right now. And I'm in the middle of folding this laundry. So in my mind, all I'm thinking is you're stopping the laundry.
Right.
But I'm like, that thing you're asking me to play legitimately might not last more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Really, like my laundry can't wait 10, 12, 15.
And so those are kind of the things I've been wrestling with lately of just like, what are some of those little tweaks and changes I can make that will make a lasting memory. Like for my family, we talk all the time about peach night. Like we used to get a can of peaches and think it was like the holy grail of dessert. Turns out they're not that expensive, but it was like the way that my mom hyped it up, the way that she sold it to us. And so there's things like that I think we can incorporate in our specific family culture and the vision we have for our family that like literally take no extra time. Yeah. I've been trying to share some of those on Instagram lately as a way to just like try to encourage parents, dads, moms, to do that kind of stuff. Cause I think it will make a lasting impact. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all I got.
That's good.
So cool. All right. Collection's out now. Use the code Enough for Today to save extra. And thank you for listening. Thank you for making us a part of your week. We so appreciate you podcast listeners. Tell your friend about the podcast. We'd love to have them join the Buck Country Club as well. I think that's it. All right, here we go.
Okay, I love you. Bye.